Bold and beautiful spoilers today. Dylan confesses her crime on December 1. Eager to know the spoilers and recap for the bold and the beautiful for December 1st? The episode begins with Steffi and Finn enjoying a romantic moment after a long stretch of troubles. Meanwhile, Elektra and will discuss how terrible Dylan feels about hitting Luna with her vehicle. Ridge and Brooke feel a bit uneasy working with the new PR executives, but they are relieved that Katie does not have to deal with Luna's crisis. Katie also uses her PR and strategy skills to help Bill with an acquisition. Spoilers for what happens on The Bold and the Beautiful today on December 1st, 2025. Katie is offered a new work opportunity. Bill appreciates Katie's talent and does not want it wasted at Forrester Creations. They discuss a possible opportunity at Spencer, but Katie declines and explains that she is happy where she is. She admits she felt disappointed that no one consulted her before bringing in an outside PR firm for damage control. Even so, she reassures Bill that she is content in her current role. Bill remains unconvinced and insists she should work with him, believing she and Will could do valuable work at Spencer. Ridge and Brooke discuss a new design. At Forrester, Ridge shows Brooke a new design that immediately impresses her. He explains that he simply draws what he sees, which leads to a kiss between them. Although Eric has not reviewed the design yet, Brooke offers her approval right away. They continue to praise one another and express how grateful they are to be together. Finn is desperate for answers. Steffi reassures Finn that Luna is gone and that they can finally move forward. She urges him to talk to her if anything about the situation is still weighing on him. Finn later calls the police, asking for the name of the person responsible for hitting Luna, but they refuse to disclose it. Meanwhile, Dylan arrives at the beach house, where Will and Elektra ask how she is coping with Luna's death. Dylan recounts the moments leading up to the accident and reveals that she is ready to confess her role in it to Finn and Steffi. Dylan confesses. Steffi grows frustrated with the constant news coverage about Luna. Will and Elektra arrive at the Cliff House and explain that they brought Dylan so she can answer any questions Steffi and Finn may have. Steffi acknowledges that Dylan has faced hardships, and Dylan agrees. She then confesses that she was the one who ran over Luna and apologizes, leaving Steffi and Finn shocked. Meanwhile, Katie thanks Bill for his praise and says it has boosted her confidence. She assures him she is not testing him, but Bill tells her that even if she were, he is ready. He adds that all he wants is to protect the family. The Bold and Beautiful spoilers today. Dylan confesses her crime on December 1st appeared first on Cummingson.net, movie trailers, TV and streaming news, and more. The Forrester Creations executive suite was rarely silent. Even at dawn, phones buzzed, sewing machines hummed through walls, and someone somewhere argued passionately about hems, hemlines, or heartbreak. But today, December 1st, the silence was heavy, expectant, like a city holding its breath before the storm. And the storm's name was Dylan Price. Dylan never imagined she would walk willingly into the lion's den. She had spent years mastering the art of blending into shadows, moving quietly, speaking sparingly, appearing as nothing more than a background assistant with neat hair and quiet eyes. That quietness had always been her camouflage. Until she committed the crime that ripped the camouflage away. Until she realized she couldn't run from it. Not anymore. The moment before. She stood outside Ridge Forrester's office with her hands trembling, though she forced them still at her sides. In her purse was a flash drive, the final piece of evidence linking her to the sabotage that nearly destroyed the company's biggest fashion show in years. And more dangerously, the sabotage everyone thought Poppy, her rival in the design department, had done. Poppy, who now sat on the brink of losing everything. Dylan swallowed. Her throat was dry gravel. She reached for the doorknob. Before she touched it, the door swung open. Ridge stood there, towering, his expression etched with impatience. "Dylan, you're early." She nodded stiffly. "There's something I need to tell you." He raised an eyebrow. "We'll handle the show fallout soon enough. Come in." But her legs felt like cement. She needed courage, the final push. Then behind her came a voice, gentle, familiar, and filled with unexpected warmth. "Dylan? You okay?" Thomas stood a few steps away, head tilted, concern shining through those thoughtful designer eyes. Of all the Forresters, he was the one Dylan could never quite hate, even when it would have been much easier if she did. He had always treated her kindness as something she deserved, not something she had to earn. She blinked quickly. "I'm fine. Today's going to be difficult." Thomas nodded. "I know. But whatever Ridge is about to throw your way, you'll handle it. You always do." If he knew the truth, he'd never say that again. Ridge cleared his throat sharply. "Thomas, we have a meeting." Thomas offered Dylan one more look, soft, encouraging, and then followed Ridge inside. Dylan inhaled once, deeply, and stepped in behind them. It was time. 2. What really happened that night? The office was filled with executives, Steffi, Brooke, Carter, and even Hope, who looked as though she'd slept in her design studio again. Papers and photos of the sabotaged gowns were spread across a long table, and on the large screen was the grainy security footage from backstage. Mannequins toppled, fabric slashed, dyes spilled. Destruction. Her destruction. Steffi, fierce as ever, spoke first. "We traced the keycard swipe to Poppy. Security checked. The timestamp matches when the damage occurred. She's being suspended until we get her side." Hope sighed heavily. "I know Poppy and I don't always get along, but this doesn't feel like her." Carter tapped a folder. "Well, the evidence says otherwise." Dylan's heart beat so loudly she was sure they all heard it. Ridge looked at her. "Dylan, you worked closely with Poppy on the show. Did you notice anything off?" This was it. The opening. The moment. Her mouth went dry. "Actually, A knock interrupted her. The door opened. Poppy walked in. Her blonde hair was tied tightly back, though several strands escaped as if fleeing the tension rippling off her. Her eyes scanned the room until they landed on Dylan. Hurt, betrayed, confused. Poppy let out a faint, shocked breath. Dylan continued, voice growing steadier as the truth poured free. "I'd been feeling invisible for years, doing the heavy lifting on designs only to be overshadowed every time. And then Poppy came along, talented, bright, loved by everyone. I told myself I wasn't jealous. But I was. I wanted one moment where someone, anyone, noticed my work. Instead, I made the most devastating mistake of my life." She met Poppy's gaze. "I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve any of it." Poppy's eyes filled with tears. Not anger, but also compassion. Ridge inhaled sharply. "Dylan, this is serious. What you did wasn't just unprofessional, it was criminal. You nearly tanked an entire collection." Steffi added, "And you let us blame Poppy while you watched." Dylan nodded. "I know. And I'm ready to face the consequences. All of them."